Good evening, guys. Hello, how are you guys doing? Intro music. Yeah, I love the intro music, huh? I can share it with you if you love it. I like sort of chilled out synthy music. Good evening, happy Saturday evening. Space Wolves don't have such a channel yet. Maybe they'll get one. Good evening, Highland Phoenix. How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. I am working on the last few things to get this 2,000 point list finished. So I'm probably going to be trying to finish this guy to begin with. I mean, I've spent a lot of time on this guy. I've struggled with him. He could be better, I guess, but I mean, I'm happy enough with him. Oh, let me turn this light on. There we go. I never knew you were a gooner. Yeah, it's an old strip. I was actually out. It was raining tonight, but we went out for like a 2 or 3 mile walk. So I threw on like a breathable football top. I don't really follow football that much anymore, but yeah, Gunners were the team that I followed. This guy's taken me so long. This music feels a little bit obnoxiously loud. How loud is the music for you guys? I'm probably going to turn it down a little bit on my end. Is it fine? Can you still hear the music? I can turn it up a bit if you can't hear it. Alright, let me know if it's still too loud now or is it better? So I think what I'm going to work on, I'm going to work on this guy for a little bit and then work on these Inceptors a little bit as well. Inceptors are getting there, I guess. A bit to do with them too. Cool, thank you. So I think what I'm going to start with is I'm going to be doing a little bit of dry brushing actually. I don't think I've ever actually done dry brushing on stream before. I mean, it's not a big deal, I guess, but I'm really not happy with this guy's face actually as well. Like, it's a third-party head, and I thought it looked pretty cool, but I don't know if I've just butchered the face. I had the cool skull face off the Jump Chaplain, but apparently I lost it, so I had to use this third-party head. Yeah, so I have a dry brush here that you can see there. I cut the edges off of it. So this is a small dry brush, right? But like even the small one is too big, I guess, for some of the intricate details. So I have cut this dry brush. Yeah, so white is a pain in the ass, and I'm going to be doing some dry brushing with Praxi White to start with. And I basically took out an extra sheet of tissue paper here so that I can actually really get into the bristles. Hey, thank you for following Lunar IPv4. Appreciate that, brother. But yeah, I find even the smallest dry brush on some of the pieces like this, or even on this emblem up here, like it's going to be difficult to get accuracy with like the small dry brush. And then I work out like a ton of the paint into the edge of the palette like this. White is a difficult color to do this with though, because because it's white and the bristles are kind of white, it can be kind of hard to know how much paint's still on the brush. So it's very easy to go OTT, I think, when you're dry brushing white. Plus, it's also very easy to take too much paint out into the brush, so you end up actually dry brushing nothing on. Maybe a tiny bit too much still. Hard to say. Alright, we'll try this. Use a rounded dry brush, i.e. a makeup brush, and you don't get the powdery finish. Hey Anthony, good evening. Let's see how this does. think it's decent. Not sure how well you can see that. So like a small dry brush would probably be fine for this side of thing, but once we get onto the shoulder pad, the small dry brush is definitely going to be too big. I suppose the only problem with doing this is that you have to load up the brush quite a bit more often with paint because you got half the bristles or less than half the bristles. I mean, that looks pretty cool, right? I like it. Hey Akril, how you doing? Good evening. Hey Adam, thanks for tuning in. Happy Saturday night, guys. What are you guys working on tonight? Let me know in the chat. We're going to be here for probably about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer. I slept in today, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed actually, and I'm feeling motivated because I really want to get this guy finished. Honestly, all the edge highlighting on this bike. Oh, you're very welcome, Jar Miniatures. I love seeing Blood Angels models on Twitter. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, follow me and I will definitely follow you back. And like I just always like seeing Blood Angels and comment on them on Twitter. I spend way too much time just scrolling through Twitter, I guess. But yeah, the edge highlighting on all this bike and all his legs and his armor, and bear in mind he's really, like, I have edge highlight underneath that Aquila. I've had to go back and forth so many times on this model. It's taken me forever. I want to say that like the edge highlighting alone on this guy has taken me about 6 hours. It's disgusting. But I'm pretty happy with him, I guess. I'm still just working out some more of this white out this brush. Are you Instagram? You know what? I don't know if I'm good enough to be on Instagram. I use... Oh shit, that's way too much white in that brush. Ugh. Oh well, the back is definitely not going to look as good as the front. That's what I get for trying to read chat and edge highlight, dry brush at the same time. It's fine. This is why I'm not on Instagram. I am not the best painter, I guess. I think it looks okay. Maybe a little bit powdery on the right hand side of those wings. Yeah, I'll have to do. I'm not redoing it. I'm converting Reavers to Death Company with Power Swords. Gonna try Red Power Swords. Interesting. I've never actually done Red Power Swords myself. I do not edge highlight much. It then gets comic style and more into grimdark. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Thanks, Duke. Yeah, I'm hoping 7k subscribers we hit today on the channel, which is pretty cool. Every 1,000 feels like a big deal, I guess. So another 1,000 down. And I believe at 10,000 GW, occasionally, if you're lucky, if you get to 10,000 GW, we'll send you preview copies, I believe, of like new books and stuff like that. So that's kind of my goal, I guess. Be good to be able to do reviews and stuff a little bit early. Has anyone ordered the new Bandai figure? I have not ordered the new Bandai figure. I actually didn't check it out, but I saw on Twitter some guy saying it's like $550. Is that right? Adam's working on the same thing he's always working on, the Achilles. How long have you been on that Achilles, Adam? I don't drill barrels. I know I should, I don't drill barrels though. You heard me say it take me 6 or 8 hours to do the edge highlighting on this guy, right? how the hell do I have time to drill barrels as well? Alright, so this is the bit that I was thinking, like, see this bit here? Like, I do not know how you do that bit with a small dry brush, because this is a small dry brush cut in half. And like, yeah, I mean, like, it's just the perfect size. Any bigger and you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna have to go back and tidy up the red. So, yeah, if you have an old dry brush that you're not using that much, like this one that I had, yeah, definitely consider, like, I cut off both edges of it just with a pair of scissors or something, just to make it half size. So, like, I need an extra small dry brush, I guess. But I'm really picky if, like, the wrong colors get in the wrong areas. Like, I end up going back and forth so often. Like, see with these edge highlightings, like, I went back and forth so often. £200 for the Bandai figure. Alright, so I don't know what country it was £550 in, but that's kind of crazy. Red Power swords look really good. I did this on my Death Company. Nice. Yeah, I never considered Red Power swords, I guess. I think that's all the dry brushing this guy needs. Just wanted to do those little wing bits. A tiny bit up here. Has anyone else got the Koyo Blood Angels Artifice pin badge? Looks nice stuff in front of me in the packet. I have a Blood Angels pin badge that I got at Warhammer Fest, but I don't know if it's a Koyo one. What drip would you recommend if you're picking one up? Okay, drill, sorry. I have like a super cheap drill that I bought on Amazon that was like £10 and came with like a bunch of different drill heads. I assume you just mean like is my drill here? It's not right next to me at the moment. I haven't built any models in a little while, but the Games Workshop drill is probably a little bit overcosted in my opinion. Like I just picked up a cheap drill on Amazon that was, you know, it was like the same thing, but it was like £9 or something. If you want and you can't find one, hit me up on Discord afterwards and I can link you the drill I bought. But like, you don't need an expensive drill, you really don't. I don't drill gun barrels, but I drill, like, if I had a Forge World model and I was like putting it together, I would for sure drill the, you know, like drill the joints and stuff, and like the cheap drill I've got does that absolutely fine. I always use a scalpel instead of a drill. And I think there's definitely a place for a drill, but I don't think it needs to be expensive at all. Right, I'm just gonna tiny bit on this helmet. I just noticed I want to touch up. Again, just this edge highlighting. Yeah, my control when I do the edge highlighting isn't the greatest, so I feel like I always have to go back and fix bits. I need my gold. I bought a drill for about £2. Yeah, I mean, you can get like a little hand drill very, very cheaply, I feel like. In general, the hobby stuff you get from Games Workshop is kind of expensive. I don't think I've bought anything from Games Workshop I've been super impressed with. Like the clippers I use are from like B&Q, a hardware store, you know. The hobby knife I use is just like a random old kitchen knife. Like I don't think you need the expensive hobby tools, really. Are you an Arsenal fan? I used to be one when Bergkamp. Do you know what? Speaking of Bergkamp, yeah, I used to be more of a fan when we had Thierry Henry and Bergkamp, eh? That was kind of when I was most into football, when I was like in my early 20s, I guess. Now I kind of support my local Scottish team, but I don't ever watch England Premier League games anymore. I mean, if I was sat at home at Friday night or Saturday night at 10 o'clock, I guess like just now, right? This is when Match of the Day is on in the UK. Yeah, if I was sat, like, I guess, because I've been streaming on Saturday night for a year, so I guess I never watch Match of the Day anymore. But when I used to not stream on Saturday night, so if I sat around on Saturday night with nothing to do, I'd watch Match of the Day. But yeah, I generally don't anymore. I think the thing that puts me off about football is like the diving and the cheating. Man, I can't stand cheating. You know, like there was I don't know if you guys followed the European Championships recently, but like I'm pretty sure there was a game where like Spain had a player in the box get tackled and he like went down and he was like, it was Spain or Italy, right? And he was like lying on the ground, rolling around like, oh my god, this tackle is so bad. And then his team scored. He just instantly got up and just like went over and started celebrating with the team. So there was literally nothing wrong with him. But like they'll play act and they'll do anything, right, for a free kick or a penalty. So I hate that. Thanks for the reminder to get Match of the Day saved on the Skybox. You're most welcome, dude. It usually kicks off at like 10:15, right? After the news, or maybe it was 10:25. It's funny, you know, like we've got all this new technology, but back in the day you could record it on like VCR. I haven't had any way to record live telly, and like, I suppose you could just watch it on iPlayer if you've got a... Do you know what, that's sort of just making me think like, why don't I watch Match of the Day on iPlayer? If you've got a TV license, that's the one. We have to have a TV license because my daughter watches CBeebies all the time. That's honestly what we pay for the TV license for. Alright, I'm going to be doing some washing next, I think. Because this guy, like... The main thing with him was to do... Good evening, Martin, how you doing? And the main thing to do with him was to do all the edge highlighting, and every time I look at this damn edge highlighting, I see a bit I'm not happy with. But it's pretty good, I think. Also wanted to freehand this X. Now I found this super difficult, and I don't think it's the greatest X. But I think I might find a Death Company transfer and put it over that. I also, this front panel here is a bit off of a Dreadnought. Like, you know, the arm where the armor panel for the top of the arm. So I thought like I might put like some sort of Death Company, like maybe just a white skull on here or something. And then yeah, I guess he's got his shoulder pad as well for maybe like a white Blood Angels logo. There's a couple. Yeah, there's still a couple of bits with this model. I'm just not quite happy with the edge highlighting, but like at some point I'll just need to say like good enough is close enough. Dex looks fine. Oh, I appreciate that. Good evening. Yeah, it's the first time I've really tried to freehand like some Death Company X's. This was quite a big one to do, I guess. There we go. I think. All right, I'm gonna wash the gold next. That's what I was planning on doing. I'm gonna wash the gold with Caribou Crimson, which I don't have in front of me. No, not Caribou Crimson, sorry, Reichland Flesh Shade. And then we're going to wash the metal with Nuln Oil. And then, honestly, a Jagged X seems more appropriate. Yeah, they're supposed to be a bit insane, the Death Company. I imagine they're not going for symmetrical X's, yeah? I know you can do painting tape and paint a perfect X in it. I actually don't own any painting tape. I'm going to try some X's on the Reavers, and I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, I tried to cut a stencil out of a bit of paper to help me, and I think it did help a little bit, but yeah, you can see it's still not perfect. Tomorrow's going to be my first game using the Sanguinary Guard, and I'm so stoked. That's awesome, Gavin. Just remember that they die very, very, very easily. They are just Marines with 2 wounds. So hide them in cover in turn 1. The way I'd probably use them first game, put them in cover in turn 1. Turn 2, advance them into cover somewhere in the middle of the map. Turn 3, deploy them in turn 1 in cover. Turn 1, advance them into a piece of cover somewhere central or somewhere where you can make the charge. And then turn 2 or 3, make your charge. But don't have them out in the open. Too many times I've put Sanguinary Guard out in the open thinking like, oh, they've got a 2+ save, But like in the current meta, they just get melted. They probably get melted by Meltaguns. So yeah, just remember that and you'll be fine. But definitely deploy them if you can where they can't be shot. And also, first turn, try and move them into another piece of cover. And if you've got a Sanguinary Priest, then put them in the Salt Doctrine for maximum damage. It's probably the highest value play that Sanguinary Priest brings, actually. Speaking of, right, we've been talking a lot about Sanguinary Priest. Hey, Dark Artisan. Good evening. How you doing? Not seen you in a little while. Hope you're well, man. I have been meaning to watch more of your videos. I watched a couple of your battle reports, actually, but like, time has been kicking my ass recently. I'm barely even keeping up making all the videos for my channel. I was on vacation for a few weeks. I made this guy who is a new Sanguinary Priest without a jump pack. I've just started painting him. I put 3 colors on him so I get my 10 points painted bonus for my game on Monday night. But here's a new Sanguinary Priest that is I think this was a Blade Guard. Yeah, it was a Blade Guard Ancient base. Or Blade Guard Ancient body. I think this is just an Assault Intercessor Chainsword. This is actually a Sanguinary Guard backpack. Sanguinary Priest backpack, sorry. And the Blood Chalice from the Sanguinary Priest. And then this is the helmet from that new Indomitus Captain. I never actually built one of those Indomitus Captains yet. But like, I thought the helmet with the visor up seemed pretty cool. Like it was a priest, like saying visor down or visor up. So this is my new Sanguinary Priest that I haven't run for a little while. Or I haven't run yet, but I'm going to be running. I barely get time to watch. No, I hear you, Dark Artisan. If you guys don't know, Dark Artisan has a YouTube channel, and he has probably the... Did anyone come back? He had a video up last week that was like 32,000 points of Blood Angels. He's got completely painted, like they're all painted. And he was asking if it is the biggest all painted collection of Blood Angels in the world. I actually don't even know if I have 32,000 points of unpainted stuff. I've kind of stopped buying for a little while, just because my backlog of stuff was kind of... I think my backlog of stuff was like almost £2,000, or I think it was like 8,000 points. And I was like, right, I've got 8,000 points of a backlog of one army. I really can't justify buying more stuff till I paint a lot of the stuff that I have. So that's kind of where I was at with One person from around 2004 had the entire chapter. Jeez-o. Do you think I can take the regular Space Marine kit and throw a jump pack on him? Will that work? For what? Like for just a Death Company captain? Yeah, I mean, absolutely, that would work. Did I miss a part of the question? If you have Death Company captain, you'd use them as an anvil for your Sanguinary Guard. Forlorn Fury would make your enemy think your focus is the Death Company squad. Well, I'm confused by what you mean, Anthony. I used to watch the Gold with Reichland to switch to Gullman Flesh and will never go back, by the way. I mean, maybe the Gullman Flesh looks better. I've never actually tried that, but I guess here's my problem. All my gold troops are coated with Reichland Flesh, and it's a lot. And there's no way I'm ever starting over, so I'm going to continue to do them this way, even if your way looks better. It would be you. Like I said, I have like an 8,000 point backlog. I cannot fathom changing the scheme on something now and going backwards. I think I paint 2,000 or 3,000 points a year, so like 8,000 point backlog is actually kind of insane, you know, like it's like 3 years worth of painting. I'd be interested to see what they look like with Gullman Flesh, though, if you want to share a picture. So what's the difference, right? Because like Reichland Flesh Shade over Retributor Armor gives you sort of like that bronzy reddish gold. What does Gullman Flesh give you? I actually kind of dig that bronzy reddish gold, though. I mean, I use it on a lot of models because you guys know that I did my Vanguard Veterans and my Blade Guard Veterans in gold, right? Just because I figured they're kind of like first company, so they're kind of gold like the Sanguinary Guard, I guess. Could you do a tier list for some Flesh Tearers models? We could put that on the list of video ideas. I don't know how strong I'm going to be at picking stuff though, because like I don't typically play Flesh Tearers. I did think about playing them, but like I've got like a couple of tournaments coming up where I'm definitely playing Blood Angels, and like I guess that's been my focus. But I wish I had more reason to paint rose gold. Well, I mean, that's why I made my, well, I was going to say, the reason I made my Vanguard Veterans and my Blade Guard Veterans in the gold color was like, I just painted too many models red in recent weeks. Like I think I'd done a Redemptor Dreadnought, I think I'd done a Whirlwind, I think I'd done 10 Assault Intercessors and 10 Infiltrators, and it was like I just got sick of doing red. So I just decided to do a few guys gold to break things up. And I'm kind of happy how they turned out, actually. Like, I really like the Blade Guard in the gold with the white shields. Like, I think it's a really great contrast. I'd do it again, actually, if I had a... Well, probably going to add some more Blade Guard at some point, because I don't have any of the multi-part ones. And some of them, the multi-part ones, look really cool, didn't they? But I mean, it's your chapter, right? Or it's your army, Anthony. Nothing says you can't. If you want to make a squad gold, like, what's stopping you, you know? I mean, Sanguinary Guard are fun to paint gold, so just make something else fun to paint, right? I've been using your recent tier lists to update my Flesh Tearers and just magnetize the Death Company backpacks to put in their drop pod with Seth. It was just good to hear you mention them. Yeah, I mean, I guess we never did Seth. Yeah, you've put me in a dilemma. I don't know why we didn't include Seth in our tier list video. But I mean, the tier list series has been well received. Like, people have loved the tier list, so I don't think it would be a problem to rank some of the other stuff. Just have to figure out where it's going to be and schedule it in, Stephen. I mean, he was in HQ, Seth. I mean, I feel like we must have just completely forgotten about him. Or, I mean, I guess we're just purely doing Blood Angels and we just didn't bother with the flesh tearers. It's probably just a little bit of an oversight, to be honest. Alright, I saw another mistake I need to fix. Yeah, I mean, Seth in a drop pod is like tier A for flesh tearers. I think Seth in a drop pod with a character that gives reroll charges is probably the most important thing for a flesh tearer, right? I suppose he doesn't have to be in a drop pod. I suppose he could be in a rhino or something, or something else. I want a Primaris drop pod. Yeah, I think everybody wants a Primaris drop pod. I think everyone wants Primaris jump packs, right? I've watched all the tier lists multiple times now and been so useful. Even picked up a whirlwind. Oh, you're very welcome, Stephen. I'm glad. I was going to say, people watching the videos multiple times is awesome because it just means that we're actually, you know, like, sometimes on YouTube you make videos and you have no idea. Well, I still have no idea. You know, I've been doing YouTube for a year. I still have no idea when I make a video if people are going to like it or not. You know, like, sometimes you do a video that you're like, oh, do you know what? I've sat before with my wife, like, at dinner time and been like, oh, I've got this great video coming out this week. People are going to love it. It's so good. And then, like, it gets, like, no views. And other times I've been like, oh, I ran out of time this week, you know, I had to look after the baby or something, so I've just thrown this video together and I don't think it's that good, but, you know, like, I sort of committed to myself that I'm going to release a video every week. And then the opposite happens, where this video that I thought was going to do nothing, people love it and people are like, wow, that's the coolest video, thanks for the tips, you know? So, like, I literally know nothing about YouTube, having done it for a year. But, you know, feedback like that you watch videos multiple times and you like them, you know, I guess I'm just gonna keep trying to deliver good videos that people can get a lot of value out of. I have a cool idea, something a little bit different, coming up pretty soon. So, you know, I'll just keep trying to make it fresh and interesting, and I'm gonna fix a little bit of this edge highlighting. I probably don't need to, but I'm going to. And yeah, I love the whirlwind, right? It's such a great unit to mess with the enemy's charges. It's so strong if you use it right. Could you do a 1,000 list advice video? There is already a video on the channel about building your first 1,000 point Blood Angels list. I guess if you search like Blood Angels 1,000 points Blood Angels Commander or something, you should find it. Apparently I only put like 5 paints on the table tonight, and apparently I need all these other paints that aren't on this table. I've only gained 30 subs in the last 3 months and I'm getting less than 1,000 views per battle report now. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is just what am I trying to say? YouTube's like its own beast, right? Like, you have to, or at least, I was gonna say, like, I feel like almost like you have to keep reinventing yourself on YouTube, maybe. Like, you you know, like this tier list series that we were just talking about has actually done really well for me, and like that was a series of videos that like I actually don't even know why I made that tier list video. Someone just threw a mention in Discord. They were like, have you considered doing a tier list video? And I was like, no, I haven't. And I just randomly asked like the 2 mods that I've got in the community if they wanted to do it with me. And we did the first one, and it was like, it just blew up. It was like the best video I'd ever done on my channel. And did like 5,000 views in a day or something, and I never get 5,000 views in a day on a new video. I think it's happened like twice. So yeah, I'm like I said, I've got an idea for like 2 new series for the channel. I've actually made like slides for one of them, and the other one is very much still a conceptual idea. But like when the tier list video series finishes in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try 2 different new series. No, they were just people that I met when the community was very, very small, Martin. Sorry, Hallie, and they became the mods for the channel. I have not seen a Primaris Dante. Is it a Primaris Dante conversion video? So yeah, I mean, I'm going to try 2 new series after the tier list. Maybe they'll do as well as the tier list, maybe they won't, but yeah, I mean, I guess you just have to keep. I feel like you have to. I don't know. I feel like I have to keep coming up with better stuff or something. But hopefully, hopefully we can keep coming up with better things. Should this panel here should probably be edge highlighted. God, every time I look at this bike, there's another bit that I'm like, man, that should have an edge highlight on it. Any chance of a monthly podcast, like a monthly state of Blood Angels? I mean, the podcast idea has been mentioned a couple of times, and yeah, I don't know if I can say too much yet because it's not been announced, but we are going to have some form of podcast. It might not be only exclusively Blood Angels, but we are doing a podcast, me, Mark, and Tony. And I mean, I guess we're getting a few videos together, and then we're gonna announce it. So maybe there's something to be said, or maybe there's something we can share in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I guess. Blood Angels matchup videos, Stefan, that is one of the new videos that I already made all my slides for the first army that we're going to be doing on that, and yeah, that's going to be one of the new series we're going to try next on the channel. So I guess we'll find out if people want to see that, but that's pretty much my idea for the next thing. Once the tier list thing finishes off, we're going to move into know your enemy style videos, I guess. Do Blood Angels get a special rule vs Black Legion? They do. I think it's just a stratagem though, right? For 1 CP. Thanks, Anthony. I have spent way too long on this bike. I wasn't sure if I was going to even paint him on stream tonight because he's so close to being finished, but like, even though he's close, it's still probably going to take me the whole stream to get him to a point where I'm ready to choose transfers. Archangel Shard is good against Black Legion? I thought it was just... Oh yeah, I suppose Chaos and Demons, isn't it? I thought it was just Chaos Demons, Archangel Shard, but no, I think it's Chaos and Demons, isn't it? Alright, a little bit of brown touch up. They get the strat that lets them hit rerolls, hits and wounds against Black Legion. Yeah, that's because we get the one from the Space Marine book against Chaos, which is like Death to the Heretics, which is just reroll hits. But it's also it's also hard countered by Mortarion, right? Because Mortarion removes all rerolls. So in some ways, like, as great as a stratagem that is, it's literally hard countered by Death Guard Primarch, which is annoying. I love how they always come in here and ask me if I want to be famous and get big followers. No, I'm good. You can. How about you guys follow me on YouTube? I get 7,000 over there. That would work, Mr. Glos and Mr. whoever Russian name you have there. Why do Chaos get to keep their Primarch? I want Sanguinius back. Yeah, I mean, I think our best bet is probably hoping for some sort of Primaris Dante. I don't think we'll get Sanguinius back. I mean, I would like to have a Primarch style character as well, but I really don't think we'll get one. Alright, I'm going to start washing Null Oil over a few bits and pieces here, I think. Your Forge World video made you want a Sicarian tank? Which Sicarian though? Like, I actually didn't think that any of them were super brilliant, right? Which one did you think was good? I thought you'd maybe be better off with like a Laser Destroyer, the Vindicator, right? Someone also said to me, like, on one of these streams, they're like, why do you make squares? And I was like, I don't know. I make squares of paint on all my palettes. Squares is the way to do it. Could you do a video series reviewing Blood Angel's list from followers? I mean, I review Blood Angel's lists every Sunday. 4 lists every Sunday, Stephen, on the live stream that we do every Sunday. 4 PM UK time. So approximately, what is it, 10:30 UK time now? So 6.5 hours earlier from now, tomorrow, we go over 2 lists submitted by channel members, and we do 2 lists submitted by just subscribers. So basically, channel membership is, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a big join button underneath here, underneath the video. You press the join button, you pay, I think it is $4.99 a month, and you become a channel member. You get access to our members only Discord, you get access to a bunch of slides and presentations that I've made for Blood Angels, and you also get like priority queue, because I do get a lot of submissions. I think the submission, the review time for like non-members is about 10 weeks at the moment. The review time for members is about 3 weeks. So yeah, if you want to ever become a member, that's how you do it. And you know, you don't need to become a member. I will get to your list as a non-member. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So and pretty much every dollar that we get on this channel so far, like, we have I think we've put every dollar that we've got back into the channel, right? We've got like much better equipment for doing all our live streams, I have a much better camera in front of me now that I film all my weekly videos on. So, and then sometimes I guess we get some new models. I think the only models that I got this last year that were new were the Centurions, and I actually kind of dig the Assault Centurions. I know some people weren't so hot on them, but I liked them. I do think that they need a way to be delivered, right? So which means like a Land Raider or something. Quite fancy getting Land Raider Proteus at some point. I think that would be that'd be a good way to deliver Centurions, right? Because it's got the 5+ invulnerable save, so you could just drive it wherever it needs to be. How can I submit a list? So all you need to do is go onto the Blood Angels YouTube channel, or the Blood Angels Commander YouTube channel, and there's a tab once you get to the channel that says Community. You just click onto the Community tab, and then in the latest community post, it doesn't matter what the latest post is, you just post your list into the comment section, like the text version that comes out of Battlescribe. So like search for Blood Angels Commander channel on YouTube, click on the actual channel, like not one of the videos, and then click over on the community tab. I've heard some people talk about that new contrast grey, and it's supposed to be really good, or arguably better than Null Oil. But here's the deal again, like I've done my whole army up to this point with Null Oil, so like asking to change it now is, I don't know, like it's probably just not going to happen, right? Because like you kind of want your stuff to match to a certain point. Like that's the problem, I guess, when they bring out new paints and stuff. It's like if you've been doing it one way, what do? Do you start over and things don't match? Or in my case, I just stick with what I know, I guess. That's way too much wash. Would you consider picking up a small force for another army, and if so, which one? I already got a small force for another army, Anthony, in fact, and it's Thousand Suns. And the reason that I have a small force is because at one point I had Warhammer Quest. Not Shadows over Hammerhall. What's the other one called? Not Curse City. The one before that. The one before Shadows over Hammerhall. Silver Tower, Warhammer Quest Silver Tower, that was it. And that box comes with a bunch of Zangors, which are Tzeentch, and like it comes with like a Gaunt Summoner, which is also Tzeentch. So when I was buying that, I actually bought like another box of Zangors, but like the Thousand Sun ones that have like this chain swords and auto pistols. And I also got a box of Ruberic Marines, and like I assembled 5 of them. I was thinking I was going to make a kill team of 1,000 Suns, like in last edition of Kill Team, but like this was before I even started the Blood Angels Commander channel, and so I started this channel a year ago, and since I started this channel I've literally painted nothing but Blood Angels, right? But before I started this channel, I had so many projects on the go, and to give you a rough idea is that like I bought Star Wars Legion, which is basically a Star Wars Warhammer 40k. I bought the starter box, and I bought like enough to make 2 800 points armies, 1 Empire, 1 Rebellion, and like I'd done a bunch of stuff with both those starter boxes. I'd also bought Necromunda, and I used to have a gang in Necromunda like way back in the early 90s, and they were Goliaths. So I had all the old metal Goliath models. So I actually stripped all the paint off of them and resprayed them white, plus the new Necromunda gang. So like I have basically probably like 30 or 40 Necromunda Goliaths, all sprayed white, ready to go. So this was on top of already doing, what did I say, 2 armies for Star Wars Legion. And then I had this Thousand Suns project on the go, which was for a kill team. And then I actually bought like, I can't even remember the name now. Star Wars Imperial Assault, that was it. So I bought the starter set for Imperial Assault, which is actually a pretty cool game. I've played it like twice, and it's a bit like Descent, if you ever played Descent. A bit like Hero Quest, I suppose. Like a dungeon crawler where people in Imperial Assault, like you pick like nameless rebels. So kind of a little bit like the movie Rogue One, I guess, in that like you just pick some nameless rebels, or not nameless, like generic rebels, I guess, and you fight against the Empire. So I had the starter set for that. So I mean, like if you put all that together, that's like, I don't know, that's like 2 years of painting or something. Probably if I just stopped everything and tried to paint all that would take me like at least 2 years, maybe more. So I have 2 years of painting for just other games, and then I had this Blood Angels army, and I actually think now I have about 10,000 points of Blood Angels painted, but it feels like every time I go to make a 2,000 point list I need to paint something. Go figure. But when I decided to make this channel, I guess I've just been putting all my resort, like I don't want to play with any models on this channel that aren't, I don't want to play with any models that aren't at least 3 colors, or at least I've made an effort on them. So I haven't painted anything on any of those other games now for over a year, I guess. And the Star Wars Legion army was actually a really good spot. Like I painted like 20 stormtroopers, and the stormtroopers take fucking ages because they're all white, and they're literally a nightmare because you know yourself with white, I'm sure that sometimes you just need to put coat upon coat of white paint on for it to actually look smooth and decent. So yeah, I was So I have a lot of in-progress projects, and the Thousand Suns was one of the projects that was in progress. Maybe in another year's time, once we're up at like 12,000 points of Blood Angels, and most of the time I field stuff, everything's already painted. We'll paint something else on stream, but unfortunately that day is still a long way away. I've heard some people saying that the white contrast paint is really good for the Stormtroopers. I heard that, but unfortunately I guess I painted all mine, or I painted the 2 or 3 squads that I had before white contrast paint was released. I've only got, do you know what, I only have had one colour of contrast paint, which is Blood Angels Red, but like I've had generally pretty good results from it when I've used it. I've never used it to like paint a whole model though. I've always used it for like accents or stuff. Yeah, this biker's gonna hopefully look cool when he's done. Oil pin washing is supposed to be magic for white. Yeah, I mean, I tried to. I mean, I can show you a Stormtrooper if you want to see one. They're just in the box behind, in the trays behind me. I also tried to paint that snow speeder from Hoth. You know, the one that Luke gets in at the start of Empire Strikes Back, where he's like, I think I can take on the whole rebellion myself. Or no, his buddy says that, right? And then he dies. That's what it was. I try to paint that, and it's all like white and stuff, and like I found it such a nightmare. I think I actually painted the whole thing, then dry brushed the whole thing, and then basically started over. I was just like, this is just not working. It was a nightmare. But that Rebels game, like the models were pretty cool. I liked them a lot. Is this a captain on a bike? No, this is a Primaris chaplain on a bike, but it is a conversion. Like, I never actually bought the Primaris chaplain on a bike model, so this is an Outrider up to the guy's waist, and then it's actually the chaplain from Indomitus. Like I cut him off at the waist, and on the chaplain from Indomitus, his book was on the back of this model, so I cut his book off and stuck it up here. I'm not sure if that's your question though. Is there a captain on a bike for what? You airbrush Blood Angels Red. So you airbrush contrast paint, so how does that work? Tell me. Because I have literally no idea. Like, one, I don't own an airbrush, and two, I had no idea you could even airbrush contrast paint. So you have to kit bash the captain on a bike. Oh yeah, 100%. If you want to make a captain on a bike, you kind of need to buy just a box of Space Marine bikes, or find a Space Marine biker on eBay, because there's usually those what are they called? Those Conquest magazines. They're just starting up again. I think this time they're called. What is the new version of Conquest called? Is it? I think it's maybe called Imperium this time round, right? So last time round, those Conquest magazines, there was definitely there was definitely bikers that came in the Conquest magazines, and I managed to find a biker on eBay pretty cheap, like under $10, and then like the upper half of the biker can just be like a Death Company Marine. I think that's how I did mine. I think I used a Sanguinary Guard arm. You know, the Sanguinary Guard arm with the Infernal Pistol on it. Because the cool thing about the Sanguinary Guard arm with the Infernal Pistol on it is he's still got a hand, so he can still grip the handlebars. So that's why I used So I have not had a chance to watch Old Bailey yet. I'm probably going to subscribe to Warhammer Plus though, right? Like, I know a lot of people are really hating Games Workshop right now for things to do with YouTubers and all that sort of stuff. Like, Games Workshop haven't contacted me or anything about my channel, and I'm hopeful that my channel will continue to exist, so I was trying not to get on board with like all the negativeness of everything, I guess. So like I'm probably gonna subscribe to Warhammer Plus, and yeah, I mean, as I subscribe, I'll maybe do some reaction videos, I guess. Definitely on the Blood Angels stuff, we'll have some sort of reaction video, I guess. But no, I haven't watched the new thing today. I actually, do you know what, I can show you. I've done a lot of steps today. I have done 17,000 steps today, 8.3 miles, so I have been busy today. This is what happens when you work all day at a desk. Like, sometimes the last thing I want to do on the weekend is sit for the whole weekend, because like on my 9 till 5 Monday through Friday I sit at a desk, you know? So I kind of make it a point to try and be active and stuff on the weekends. Good evening, Robert. Sean, yeah, I'm not going to join in any boycott of Warhammer Plus, I'm afraid. I mean, I know it's very contentious and stuff, but I'm just trying to stay out of it. I hope you can understand that. Like, I don't want to do anything that will annoy Games Workshop or annoy anyone, I guess, in general. So, like, if you want to get Warhammer Plus, great. If you don't want to get it, great. You know, you do you, I suppose. And, like, let's try and just let people do what they want to do is kind of my stance on it. I actually don't own a Vindicator Assassin, so I kind of like the new one and thought maybe I own Eviscer and I own Calidus, so it would be nice at some point to complete my collection of assassins. So I thought I would probably get it just so that it's just one less assassin to collect, I guess, right? Yeah, I'm trying to stay positive, you're right, and try not, I mean, hopefully the Warhammer hobby just continues to grow and everything is fine, and, you know, what comes around goes around, so I'm sure, you know, like, Blood Angels aren't in the strongest place right now. I'm sure we can probably all agree that. You know, we try and not let that get us bogged down. We try and just fight the good fight and win every game with Blood Angels. So I think the same thing goes for the animation stuff. Maybe it's not in the greatest place right now, but, you know, it'll come around, I'm sure. Man, this guy's taking me forever. What do I still need to wash metal-wise? I'm almost there. Maybe these panels up here. I basically just try and hit everywhere that I have that's got metal, or what is it, lead belcher I use? I try and hit everywhere that is lead belcher with null oil, because I think what it does is it just brings it down to sort of like a gnarly or more grim dark look, I guess. So on all my models that I paint lead belt, so basically everywhere I have lead belcher I end up doing 3 coats, because I always start with a coat of Dawnstone, then we do the coat of lead belcher, and then we do the coat of null oil. It's probably one of the reasons that all my models take me forever. But this guy's getting close. I honestly think maybe the next thing to do with this guy will be to look for transfers. Oh, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, do you know what? I'm hoping that this guy, because he kind of had his new model syndrome last week, right, against Death Guard, and that, like, I had him already, had him full. Well, he wasn't quite fully painted, but like he was feeling like he was in a really good position paint-wise. He was on the battlefield. He was looking good. He was ready to do some damage, and then he just got shot off the table in turn 2, and never. Maybe he killed one thing, but he barely did anything. So hopefully that was like his new model syndrome last week, and then this week he's gonna wreck some face. That's the hope anyway. I had a plan doing the skull veteran transfers last time on the shoulder pads. I had a pain. Do you use Microsol and Microset for transfers? Because that makes it so much easier. Like, just unbelievably easier. Just finished my Stormgunner Sangre Guard conversion. Check out in the Discord, boys. Alright, we'll check it out. I guess the Storm Guard just give them quite a bit more beef. Oh, I like the flying one. Yeah, I wonder when we're getting Primaris Sanguinary Guard, huh? It feels like every day you see someone converting them on not Discord, Discord or Reddit or Facebook. Someone's always converting Sanguinary Guard into Primaris models. I feel like we need to just get them at some point, huh? Alright, pot is not washed. Oh, it's not washed. Good evening. Piluk UK, how you doing, man? Thanks for dropping by. I guess Primaris upgrades are GW's bread and butter, so they don't want to go oversaturate the market at the moment with the Black Templars getting their new range now. I've seen some people who've converted like all their Sanguinary Guard and all their Vanguard vets and that to Primaris. I mean, that's some crazy effort, I guess. I mean, good for you. I'd figured that I was just gonna wait till they actually released them, I guess. The time investment in that is crazy. The cost as well, right? Because you basically have to buy like 2 or 3 times the number of kits, right? Alright, I think I fixed my mistake earlier with the tiniest little gentlest washing of Nuln Oil back over the top of this. Good evening, Dex. How you doing? I'm going to convert Primaris Jump Infantry for my Primaris Alpha Legion, to be honest. Just being able to use them as Raptors when I'm playing them on the Chaos side. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do it probably, but like, oh, I don't know, it's scary the amount of money that you would need to make all the Primaris models. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a huge effort. Maybe at some point, when my army's when my backlog's a little bit smaller. I mean, it would be cool to be ready for when they finally do release some Primaris, some of the stuff in Primaris, but at the same time, like, if the rollouts for the Primaris stuff seems to be all over the place, you know, because it's like Primaris Black Templar coming now. So who knows when we're actually going to get Primaris Sanguinary Guard, I was going to say Death Company, or useful Primaris Death Company. Death Company without jump backs just, to me, does not seem useful, I guess. How about a Death Company and an Impulsor? I don't like Impulsors are so expensive at the moment. Like, it's like 135 points if you're going to put the shield dome on them. I'm worried about converting too much Primaris jump infantry as we don't have anything to go on of what the Primaris jump infantry might look like. Yeah, I mean... Do you mean like what their backpacks might look like, or do you something else? Back from an impromptu game, trying to decide between building some sub-assemblies or kicking the feet up for the night. If you can do some hobbying, I always recommend it. Kicking the feet up always feels good when you just get into something. Alright. What have I still got to do in this guy? Don't bother with it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're gonna take... Here's the thing, right? To take the Impulsor, I think you're better off just taking Firstborn Death Company. And I mean, I guess that's the problem. Like, an Impulsor is literally 5 more Death Company. Do you magnetize a lot of models for weapon options, e.g. Sanguinary Guard, sword and axes, or just get more models? Sometimes I magnetize. I haven't actually never magnetized any Sanguinary Guard, surprisingly. I have a lot of Sanguinary Guard now. I think I have like 20, maybe 22 of them. Some are ridiculous, and I probably should have magnetized. Vanguard Veterans, I did 10, and then realized I really need to start magnetizing this, and then like I did 10 more with lightning claws that are magnetized. Beyond that, mostly my magnetizing stuff is dreadnoughts and other vehicles. I'm gonna have to try and paint something on this face here to give it a bit of definition, the skull, but I don't know what I'm going to try and paint on it. It's like I'm going to have to try and paint a skull mouth by freehand. I really don't like the sound of that at all, but I guess we're going to have to try something. I think beyond that, I think I'm calling him, like, I think he's ready for transfers. We paint something on his face. Maybe I could touch up this purity seal here a tiny bit. Back to building dreads. A dreadnought coal mine. How many dreadnoughts have you got, Dex? So my eyes are dry as all hell tonight for some reason. I don't even think it... You know, it's been quite a humid day, but usually humidity doesn't mean dry. Oh, I almost knocked over my glass of water there, that was close. Yeah, I mean, the suppressors kind of maybe have Primaris jump packs, and I guess so do the Inceptors to a certain degree, right? So when I do transfers, I use a product called Microsol, which is basically like it's basically like water, similar to regular transfers, but the difference is when you put it on, I guess because it's Microsol, it's like making your transfers a little bit more malleable, so that they go on the curved surfaces really well. It's actually a really great product. You get it on Amazon for like $4 or $5, and I would highly recommend it if you've never tried it before. If you have any trouble with transfers, Microsol is what it's called. It just comes in a little like 30mm bottle or something. Sometimes when you wash the whole model with Nuln Oil like that, you can get some tide marks in places. So if I get any tide marks I don't like the look of, I will get a little bit of like the silver again and just mix it with the wash before I paint it on, and then I'll just paint it over. Usually it can help just clean up those tide marks a little bit. Usually just happens on like big panels, right? Alright, I think we're all on that done. Alright, gonna try and freehand something on this face. This is gonna go horrifically, I'm guessing. Does it mean you don't have to cut lines into them? Into the transfers? You'd still cut the transfers out. And then use the Microsol to just... what do you think of a dirty red look for my angels I'm still building? Well, I mean, I do all my angels kind of dirty looking because I don't do any I don't do any edge highlighting on my red guys. I mean, I might do this guy next on stream, but like what I would do is just get them to here so that this isn't Mephiston Red, this is Evil Sun Scarlet, right? I mean, you can see the difference here actually, in that this is Mephiston Red on the spike panel and this is Evil Sun Scarlet on him, so it's like a shade higher. Yeah, so yes, like the Evil Sun Scarlet at this point probably looks too red, like they almost look cartoony. But I just washed the whole model, recess washed with Agrax Earthshade. Do you know what? I think I've got one right behind me. So there's before and after. So it just darkens the whole thing down. Usually I leave the flat armor panels sort of not so heavily washed. And it's like a super quick and easy way to do it, right? It's very quick and it's very easy. Oh, I say it's quick for me, and I'm not even that good a painter. I think some people actually do that with I think some people do that with Nuln Oil. I think you can put Nuln Oil over the red, the Evil Sun Scarlet. Or, I mean, if you want them really gnarly, just stick with, I'm old enough to remember Blood Angel's Orange as a GW paint. Yeah, if you want them really gnarly, just don't use Evil Sun Scarlet, just do the Mephiston Red. So you get the Mephiston Red, and then just wash them with something, like I probably just use like Nuln Oil, and they'll look weathered as all hell. Alright, I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna try and do a couple of little lines for like, almost like teeth, I guess. Alright, it's not the best, but there is some little teeth marks in there now. Maybe we'll do one more. Maybe this is pushing it because we managed to do 3 without making a mistake. Alright, that'll do. I think we're going transfers. And I think I need 2 or 3 transfers for this guy. I think the transfers we need are 1 for this, 1 potentially for over the X, and 1 for the shoulder pads. Good evening, Aaron. How you doing? I use Nuln oil all over red for my flesh tears. What type of red? Do I ever take intercessors? No, I have a shitload of intercessors painted. I never field any of them. I think I have maybe like 30, 35 of them painted. No, I never fielded any of them. I fielded them a bit in 8th edition, but not so much in 9th. I just think the incursors and the infiltrators are just... They're kind of the same, but just better. And the points costs are marginally higher. If you don't own any Phobos troops, they're generally the troop choice I recommend you buy first. I said I was going to do one more thing, now I'm forgetting what it was though. Oh yeah, it was this purity seal here, okay. Mephiston Red plus Incubi Darkness for shadows is a great combo. I've never used Incubi Darkness. Is that a Blood Angel? Sorry, is that a GW paint? Yeah. There's probably a lot of new paints that like once you get your color scheme and you're set, and I probably have like 10 to 12 go-to paints. And once you've got that, it can be quite hard. If you're trying to make your whole army match, you can end up being just using those paints, and that can be you, I guess. I'm building 10 infiltrators right now. I just did a quick head count because I couldn't remember myself. 24 dreads built, 5 kits in the pile, 2 more on the way. Jeez. I have a lot of dreads. I think I probably have about... Let me think. 4 or 5 firstborn dreads, a Death Company dread, 3 librarian dreads. So that's 8, 3 redemptor dreads, that's 11, a Leviathan and a Contemptor, that's 13. I don't know if if you're a big dread guy, did you ever see my did you ever see the conversion, the librarian dread conversion that someone from YouTube sent me? Because that's a pretty cool model. Alright, he's going to the side. He's ready for transfers, I think. I'm probably not quite happy with him, but like, I forever... Incubi Darkness is a GW purple shade. Okay. Yeah, that might be an interesting color. This is the one that somebody from YouTube sent me. And it's I guess it's a Librarian Dreadnought conversion that I did a little bit of work to myself actually to kind of finish it off. It's pretty cool. It's also definitely modeled for disadvantage with the giant wings. And the other one that was also sent to me by someone from YouTube, again I did a little bit of work to finish this one off. This was going to be another Librarian Dreadnought. This one with a Stormbolter. But I was going to say these were magnetized to the base. I could feel this one moving around a little bit. I don't remember how to get it off though, so I'm not gonna try, because last time I took it off. Oh yeah, it's magnetized in there, I think. I broke a bit of it, but I dig the fist replacing the hand. Yeah, that's what I did myself. I wanted it to have the proper power fist, and I had a spare one kicking around, so why not, eh? Alright, let's have a look on said super expensive Forge World transfer sheet. There's not that much that's going to work on this bike, actually. Because I feel like the bike's so black, we're going to need white transfers. Like this Forge World sheet has like 0 white transfers on it. It's got some cool transfers on it, don't get me wrong. 3D painted wings. Yeah, I actually have no idea where those wings came from, because this was sent to me by a member of our community. Alright. I have so many transfer sheets, so let's see what we've got. Alright, I'm probably going to need like a white shoulder pad, so I can get a white shoulder pad here. Where's my... Oh, where's my Stanley knife? I am not organised tonight. I can get a white shoulder pad here as well. Probably want like the angel wings on there, probably. The middle-sized ones, maybe? Probably a middle-sized one. So this transfer sheet will get me 2. And then a skull. That's the third. Yeah, that's what I want. I want a skull. I bet at some point John could build a full army of models, people have said. I've had a few sent my way, yeah, but not quite a full army yet, Brent. I was gonna say, I thought I had more transfers than this. I need a decent sized skull. The skulls here, but they're very small. This is the advantage of just playing one army, right? You manage to trade transfer sheets with everybody for the army you need, right? Oh, here's a decent sized skull. This is an old transfer sheet. Sometimes these old transfers are a nightmare though. That's a decent sized skull, but yeah, it's a really old transfer sheet. You used the Deathstorm drop pod tonight. How did that get on? Was it as good as you'd hoped? Because it's a bit random, really, isn't it? I can't bring myself to buy that transfer sheet. It's 25 bucks. Yeah, I know it was 25 bucks for just the transfer sheet. I don't know if I felt like I've got 25 bucks value out of it, right? I mean, it's been kind of cool, but yeah, I mean, I guess at some point when you're just sat around bored one night and you've got 25 bucks to spend on the internet, I guess you could try it. Oh shit, I'm dropping transfers. Oh, look at this one. Blood Angel's Death Company transfer sheet. That has gone yellow, that's how old that is. I mean, that's got skulls on it as well. I mean, it's got the skulls probably that I would want. Those are some old Blood Angels logos. Wow. They've gone yellow as well. Blood Angels Tactical Squad's definitely gone yellow. And then maybe this skull here is the same size. What is this? This is just a random Blood Angels transfer sheet. Was that? That's different to this one. Oh no, this one I just already used all the skulls. Alright, so we could potentially use one of these skulls. Oh, I must already love skulls. That must be what it is. We like skulls on... Oh yeah, do you know what? We'll use this transfer sheet here. Oh. I've got so many. I think it was Kev from my stream. Blood Angel's Vehicle Command transfer sheet. What the hell did that come with? Vehicle Command transfer sheet. Sorry, Blood Angel's Vehicle transfer sheet. Did that... I have no idea what that model came with. Maybe that came with like an old Dreadnought or something. Yeah, I mean those Death Company ones are from like early 90s. Surely. Right, I need to find my Stanley knife. Give me one sec. Oh, I see it. So I think I'm going to try this one here. I think that will go on this front panel here. Yeah, just. All right, so that's going on the front panel. And then for a shoulder pad, we're going to just do another one of those white symbols, only the smaller one here, because I think that's the shoulder pad size. They're not pressed hard enough. Damn it. Alright, so that's the shoulder pad one, and then I think it's a shame you can only get the transfer sheet in the Combat Patrol. Yeah, I mean, I bought some of these on eBay, honestly, because it was like... I think I'm going to put a skull over the top of that X. I've seen that somewhere before, I think. Well, actually, I think I might have seen the skull with, like, the Blood Angels thing over the top of it. What do you think? I'm either going to put the skull... Well, do you know what? Yeah, I'll cut the skull off here. was going to say, I'm either going to put the skull on his shoulder and the little wing thing over the top of that, or vice versa. What do you think is going to look better over the red X? I can put this transfer on here just now so you see how to do it. I just need to get some fresh water because my water has a million different colours of paint in it. But I can go grab some fresh water real quick and just do it. And you can see how I do it. It's pretty simple with the micro set and the micro solve though. The skull over the X, you think that'll look better? What does everyone else think? Let me grab some water. You guys tell me, skull over the X or wings over the X? Alright, cool. So, what I have here then is the two bottles, microcell, setting solution for decals, softens decals to conform to irregular surfaces for a painted on look, softens decals to improve adhesion. So you start with a microsol and you come back to microset after. I usually let it fully dry, so we won't be doing microset on the stream, but we will do the sol. So I got some water and I tried to get it lukewarm, right? You don't want the water to be stone cold, I think, when you're doing this. I think slightly lukewarm, like the water's probably just like 20 degrees, but it's just not freezing cold, right? So I get my 3 decals, or however many decals you're doing, I guess, and I start by, I'm also using a really old shit brush for this, where the bristles are just terrible, because I think the microsol, because it softens all your decals and stuff, like it'll soften your bristles and it'll make the brush like unusable. So the first time you've got an old brush that you have ruined or whatever, that's what you want to use. You know, you want to dedicate a brush for doing this, I guess. So I paint the slightly lukewarm water on the back of all the transfer sheets. I feel like that helps. Maybe it doesn't, but that's what I do. And then I just put some lukewarm water on all of these. And you need to give it a minute or whatnot. So get your water on all of them. Yeah. Basically just make sure that the paper and the transfer are kind of soaking. You can see this one's moving already, so it didn't take a minute. We may as well do this big one then if it's already moving around. So what I'm going to recommend here is tweezers, like literally just a pair of tweezers. So get them, get your crappy brush, get your model. This transfer is going on this bit here. I'm just going to reset my light 1 second. The battery in this light is kind of crappy, so it runs out over time. So it's going to go on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some of that microsol, not much. And I'm just going to coat where we're going to put the transfer with the microsol. And this just makes it so much easier for curved surfaces than using just water on its own, because like it will just adhere to the curved surfaces like so quickly and easily. Whereas if you're using water on its own, sometimes you can get like little blemishes on the transfers and they get like ripples in them, and it's a real pain in the arse. For the price, I would highly recommend you get the microsol. So just get the tweezers. I'm just going to move this across. Once it's across, I wouldn't worry about getting it lined up. What I would then do, let me take the brush out of my mouth, is I take the tweezers and gently as all hell, not gently enough, destroy that transfer. Bollocks. That's not what you do. That is not what you do. Let me grab another one. This is the thing about using very old transfers. Chaplain on a bike, yes. Yes. Here, we have another one right here. So this transfer sheet might be quite old, because that broke super easily. Alright, take two. Annoyingly, my microsol is probably going to be set, or probably going to be evaporated by the time we get back there. Yeah, look, it's almost evaporated already. It's quite warm in here tonight, like 22 degrees. Okay. Alright, come on, move, you little... We are ready for you to move. There we go. I'm going to put another bit of water on. Right, and then get my microsol again. The sheet says 2017. Yeah, I mean, I could have been damaged, could have just been a bad transfer. Sometimes they break. I guess the thing is, when they do break, just don't get too upset about it, right? Just be prepared to move on, right? So, microsol is on. Grab the transfer sheet. Try and get it moved over. Then what we're saying is I take my tweezers and gently as all hell position the transfer where I want it to be. Once it's good, again super gently because you don't want to move it now. Spread that microsol all over the transfer. You saw how quickly it evaporated before. It will evaporate, and it means that like this transfer is going on a curved surface, right? And like you saw, like I don't know how well you can see that, but like look how easy that was on a curved surface. There's no ripple, there's nothing. And like this microsol stuff just makes doing transfers like normally super fucking easy. How drunk are you right now? I'm sober, but some people do use a Q-tip. I tend to just... A Q-tip would be better because it's softer, right? A Q-tip's basically it's basically like a cotton bud, right? Good evening, Dolph. I'm literally using a piece of metal on the top of these what are they? Tweezers, but like normally they work fine. Alright, are either of these other two transfers good to go? Yeah, this one is. Alright, we'll do a shoulder pad. So again, small amount of microsol on the brush. It doesn't need to be a lot. Try not to touch that other transfer, because if you touch it at this point, you're probably going to move it. So be very careful when you're doing this to not touch the transfers you've just put on. If you're trying to batch like one model's all its transfers at once, you need to be very careful where you pick the model up. I've definitely picked up models and I've lost transfers off other parts of the model before. Alright. This one's going on there. Now this is even more of a curved surface. You can see that it's really curved on here. So position it where I want with the tweezers. and you can see it's definitely a little bit. I wouldn't say it's 100% flush. Yes, it's an Arsenal shirt. It's an old one. This is actually a Fabregas Arsenal shirt. So I don't know what year we sold Fabregas, but a long time ago. I actually kind of wish that when he came back to England and Chelsea got him, that Arsenal had put in a bid. But anyway, yeah. So it's obviously a very curved surface, the shoulder pad, and this is quite a big transfer. So that is one coat of micro sol on there. I might give that another coat. I might let that dry and just give it one more coat, but it does really help with those irregular surfaces, I find. That looks pretty good, I think. And then you obviously have the micro set once you're happy with them. So that one I'm probably gonna give one more coat of micro sol, and then once everything is set and dried, we'll do like a coat of micro set. And then after the coat of micro set, I give them a coat of Lamium medium over the top. Do you use laser pointers to see line of sight? No, I just use my eyes, I guess. Lucky Jim, maybe we're not quite that professional yet, but no laser pointers. I'd be worried we take someone's eye out with a laser pointer. I'm about to paint green lenses on my Blade Guard intercessors. Wish me luck. Good luck, Shield Captain. Rockaboo. I'm not sure we've met before, but thanks for tuning into the stream. How you doing? We do have some new people tuning in every day at this point because we're flying 7,000 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then let's try and put this skull over this X. So this is something I really haven't done before, actually. Just in terms of, I guess, freehanding the X and then trying to put a transfer over it. So hopefully it works out. Alright, so a little coat of microsol. I think it's just going to be in that sort of center section, hopefully. Sometimes when they're at a weird angle like this, it can help to like prop the model up like that. Sorry if I'm speaking with my brush in my mouth. I'm just trying to do too many things at once. And then oh, whoever said skull over the X, you guys are legends. This is going to look cool. I mean, that X could have been a little bit bigger, I guess. But it does look cool. What setup do we use for streaming? What do you mean? I'm happy to answer your question. What are you asking? Like, I use OBS? Or are you asking what cameras I've got? Hit me up with a more detailed question. I'm happy to answer. Yeah, I like that. I'm not happy with his face, but I hate painting faces. I never manage to do well with faces. Alright, so I'm going to leave those and put this model to the side. I will probably hit the curved shoulder pad one more time with the microsol though. Microset goes on under the transfer and sol on top. It's even described in the bottle that way. Okay, well, I've been doing it wrong. But brush microset one part on the model where the decal is meant to be applied using a soft. Oh yeah, okay, I've been doing it wrong. None of the transfers have ever come on. I didn't realize there was directions on the bottle. I thought it was just the normal fine print where it says like don't drink this stuff, you know. Alright, I've been basically doing it backwards. I mean, I thought I watched a video on YouTube how to do it, but it's fine. It still helps. It still works, I guess. I've definitely been doing Sol first and then set afterwards. The camera down, I guess I've been putting a big camera on a rig and it's just in the way. So then you have two cameras that you run into OBS. Yes, we run two cameras into OBS. My big camera, my DSLR, is actually the one that's over here. You can actually see this camera here. This is actually my cell phone. So this is just an iPhone on like a boom mic stand with a with like a phone adapter on the end of it. So I mean the cable is just off stream, but I mean I can hold it. Can I hold it in front of the camera? Yeah. So it's just like a lightning cable from my iPhone plugged into the computer. So iPhone pointing down. I mean it still does get in the way. If you want to avoid tweezers, I just brush the micro set onto the decals and use the same brush to slide the transfers off. Yeah, I mean, you can probably do it maybe slightly easier than the way I've been doing it, but again, it all comes down to what do you mean, Jeffrey? Squidward, sorry. It all comes down to how long you've been doing stuff, I guess, in a certain way, right? So I've been doing these things for a long time. I mean, that definitely works, Lucky Jim. I think I have one generation behind on iPhone, the iPhone 11, I think. But one of the reasons I have an iPhone is the cameras are insane. And the camera in low light is actually super insane as well. So yeah, I highly recommend the camera in the iPhone. Like I have a £800 camera over here, but half the time I take photos on my iPhone because the quality is like, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to say which camera is always going to be better. All right, but yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say you turn off the lights and keep away from the laser end. Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know if you've seen the people that play on my channel, but we've got a few we've got a few people that like to joke around and clown around. I don't know if laser pointers are a good idea for us. See, this is why it takes me ages. I'm forever finding the tiniest little problems with his edge highlighting and I'm going back and trying to fix it. But at some point I just say hashtag done, you know? But no, thanks for that, guys. That skull over the X. I wish I'd made the X a little bit bigger, but you know what? It's the first time I've done that, so it kinda, I'm sure I've seen the skulls over the X's on some of the official GW ones, and I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, technically he's a chaplain, right? So he isn't part of the Death Company, but yeah, I think he looks decent. I think I'm happy with him. But yeah, no, thank you. Hopefully this guy will not die straight off the battlefield on Monday night. Alright, what are we doing next? I suppose we could paint a couple of eyes on these guys. I think I typically do green eyes on assault intercessor type units. So these are... I think I typically do green eyes. But no, thanks guys. I don't often finish models on stream. I'm usually starting models or doing some things that are easier to do, because sometimes when I'm streaming it's kind of hard to speak to you guys and do complicated bits. But a couple of mistakes were made with him, but I think he's good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it would take some of you guys to paint this, but I want to say that it took me like 3 or 4 hours just to put down the base colors, then probably 8 hours for the edge highlighting, because we did the bike and like some bits of the bike, like in behind his knees and stuff, were really difficult to get into without making mistakes, so I had to go back and forth in those a ton. And then after the edge highlighting, a few hours washing. I see another bit of the edge highlighting I don't like here. God damn it, I should have not picked this model up. I'm just gonna fix one other bit. But yeah, so this guy is probably close to like 13-14 hours. I think this guy probably took me longer than some of the dreadnoughts I've painted. Alright, good enough. Stop looking at him, John, move on. He better not die in one turn in the next game without doing any damage. It's what we call new model syndrome in my local group. Thank you for following Edgy75, appreciate it. Whenever you get a new model and you bring him to the battlefield, he will argue, or he or she or they, whatever it is, will arguably just get killed in their first turn before they do anything. And you'll have spent all that time and effort painting them. And yeah, that's what we call new model syndrome. Deathstorm pod did that, put up a drive, so that your new Deathstorm drop pod died in turn 1, or did you? You said you had multiple Deathstorm drop pods, right? But yeah, I mean, the first time I had, I'm trying to think of models that I had that died the first turn that you ever I remember I played a game against Kev on the channel, and he had like 3 new Eldar like artilleries. I think they were maybe like D cannons or something. I'm not super familiar with Eldar stuff, but like I think it was like they're 24 inches or they're 72 inches in direct fire, and you put them all forward so you could get like, you know, they do a ton of damage on like 24 inches. So you put them all like maybe like 28 inches away from me, thinking like that would just be far enough so you could like move into range and shoot, and I just Forlorn Fury into them and killed all of them in turn 1 before you could shoot any of them. and he was just like, what the hell? No, thank you. Yeah, we are live on Sunday. We're always live on Sunday, and it's 4 o'clock UK time for about 2 hours. And on Sunday, we always go over community submitted army lists. So 2 submitted by members, and there's always a lot of members in the chat these days, so I really appreciate all the memberships. They really help support the channel, so thank you for that. And then we're also live on Monday, and we were going to be playing Orcs this week, but I think we're going to be playing Andrew's sisters list. Andrew's got another sisters list that he's trying to build for like a tournament early next month. So I think he's taking 3 squads of retributors with multi-meltas. So it's a pretty serious list. I struggled a lot last time I played Andrew with that many multi-melta fire. So I'm kind of looking forward to facing it, but also a bit worried because... Hey Descent BR, thank you for following. How you doing? Appreciate it. I'm doing Bolter and Scepters just now, but earlier we were doing Primaris Chaplain. We just finished him. I'm not in love with the Bolter and Scepters, but I can't find the points to get Plasma and Scepters into my list. They're just too expensive now. So I don't mind the Bolter and Scepters, but yeah, the Plasma and Scepters are just expensive. I have multiple Dreadnought pods, just 1 Deathstorm pod for now, and be getting more, not because they're good, just for completionism. So what gun did you put in your Deathstorm pod then? Because there's 2 choices, right? You can have the missile launcher or like is that a heavy bolter? I forget. We looked at it just this week, but I forget. Is the plan just to flood the map when you play with your dreadnoughts in drop pods, basically? That eye was maybe a little skew if we might need to fix it. I always find eyes difficult to see, you know that? My vision isn't the greatest, and those eyes are just... They are very small. Very, very small. Missile arrays, the assault cannon is even just more disappointing. Okay. Yeah, the assault cannon looked okay on paper, but yeah, I guess it's just the fact it only hits on 4s, right, is kind of its weakness. But yeah, it's getting pretty late here. I'm probably gonna think about calling it in like maybe like 10 minutes, something like that. And yeah, we're gonna be back tomorrow, and then on Monday, so we'll be back Sunday and Monday. Sunday to look at army lists, Monday to actually play live. And I'm quite looking forward to playing the sisters again, but like it does. The last couple of times we fought them, like, their damage output is super strong. They have so many ways of kicking out mortal wounds. I'm gonna have to think long and hard, because the way that Andrew's been running those sisters is 30 sacrosants, combined with Morgenval, basically meaning Morgenval's untargetable. And there's also a Canoness with Morgenval, so that like the Canoness can make your units if you try and charge fight last. So it kind of just makes that whole ball of 30 Sacrosants and Morgenval and a Canoness, like, they're just super difficult for Blood Angels to deal with. I'm not entirely sure actually how is best to deal with it. But we have had really close games against the Sisters. Like last time we just lost by 5 points. So maybe part of the thing needs to be just like not getting bogged down against those units. Hey Dracula, good evening. How are you tonight? I think we're doing well. We just finished our chaplain on a bike. Just doing a little bit of work on the Inceptors before bedtime. Bolter Inceptors, unfortunately, because plasmas are so damn expensive though. Eliminators to ignore Lookout Sir. It doesn't help you because the Sacrosants have the bodyguard special rule, which means if any of them are within 3 inches of Morgenval or the Canoness, Lookout Sir still doesn't help you. You can't shoot them. I did have Eliminators in my list up until recently, but I actually dropped them. I think Eliminators work best with 2 squads, like one squad just feels like they don't get the job done, I guess, or not in any sort of reasonable time frame. So yeah, I dropped my Eliminators. I don't hate them. I actually did buy a second squad of them recently. It's one of the few models I've bought in the last 6 months, so I had the option. But yeah, I haven't been running 2 squads of them. Yeah, the 30 models with bodyguard is, I don't know, it's very, very difficult considering they all have storm shields as well. I've tried hanging back the stream, listening along instead of being in the chat so I could actually do some painting and still didn't get much done. Just half of one panel, lol. Well, at least you got something done, Adam. That's the main thing, right? And thanks for hanging out. You're usually on point with rules and stuff, Adam. How would you deal with 30 Celestian Sacrosants that can't be targeted due to... Sorry, 30 Celestian Sacrosants hanging out with Morgenval, making her and a Canoness completely untargetable. How would you deal with that? I only ask because you always jump in with loads of ideas and rules and questions. But yeah, it's just past midnight. I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna let you tell me what you would do, Adam, and then I'm gonna call it a night, I think. Cause I don't know how best, like I usually try and shoot the Sacrosants out with like my Redemptors. But it takes, because they're all in 4+ save, and there's so many of them, 30. And my Redemptors are obviously running plasmas rather than the heavy onslaught. I mean, heavy onslaught would probably be better, but I'm not trying to use a list that's just specifically good against Sisters, right? I'm just trying to use my all corners list, I guess. So I can't shoot them out at any sort of rate of success. What do I get? Like, I get maybe like 16 heavy onslaughts, let's say 6 plasma shots and like 8 to 10 stormbolter shots, but they all save on 4s. So I mean I think on average in the games I've played, maybe we've killed like 6 Sacrosants a turn or something like that. Remember, he does have a feel no pain on them as well with this Hospitaller, and he can revive some of them as well with the Hospitaller. Mass Volkites. But that's my answer to most things these days. Do you know what? You're probably right. Mass Volkites would be very good against them because they've got no protection against the mortal wounds. I think anyway they've no protection against the mortal wounds. So each Contemptor could kill maybe like 5 of them, and then you're just throwing massive amounts of like 0 AP saves. But I mean, if you throw enough 0 AP saves, they're gonna fail some of them, right? Oh, sorry, I'm tired. Apparently. I can't drop the plasmas those Halley because I come up against other armies where I need to open up transports and stuff early in the game. So I need plasmas for that purpose, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I can share the list that I've got, Adam, but yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And I'll be sharing Andrew's list probably tomorrow anyway, tomorrow night, because we usually set up the streams the night before, don't we? So 2 relics with double Volkites is, I think, 32 shots. I have 1 Volkite cannon, but not 2, unfortunately. Plus, I don't know if I really have the CP in this list to include Redemptors with Volkites. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I don't want to send you guys to sleep. I only have 2 bikes with multi-meltas. So it's really not enough punch. I mean, if you think about it, 2 bikes hitting on 3s, so you get 3 multi-melta shots, wounding armor on 2s, so you're only really going to wound on armor. Sorry, wounding armor on 4s if it's toughness 8. You're really only getting 1 or 2 multi-melta shots. And then they have you would imagine they have some sort of save, right? Alright, I will speak to you guys tomorrow, 4 o'clock for the live stream on army lists. Come hang out if you'd like to talk about army lists tomorrow. And if not, then Monday night at 7:30 normal time, Blood Angels versus Sisters of Battle. Thank you for hanging out tonight, guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully catch some of you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Stay safe. By the blood are we made strong. Peace.